Welcome, everybody. I'm Yad, one of the co-founders of Xorosoft, and we have Cam and Scott with us from Ultimate Distribution, who have been amazing customers with Xorosoft for so many years. And we have Brian, who's our Director of Sales with us. So today we have an opportunity to do a video case study with Ultimate, where we will be talking to Scott and Cam about how Xorosoft has helped them in their day-to-day business processes and streamlining their operations, their warehouse, their B2B sales channel process, and what the overall experience of the software has been for over the years. So we'll go through all these points. Brian, I will hand it over to you from here, and let's get started.
Cool, thanks, Yad. So hi, I'm Brian, Director of Sales with Xorosoft. As you had mentioned, we've got Cam and Scott from Ultimate Distribution on the call here. For those of you who guys don't know, Ultimate is one of the premier skateboard distributors in Canada, based in Western Canada, with a lot of heritage and background, deep-rooted background in the skateboard and action sports industry in Canada. So I'm really excited to talk about them. They've got a background of one of the kind of most nostalgic photos from the 80s skateboard scene on the back wall there. So I don't know if we'll have enough time to talk about that, but that might be for a different case study. But yeah, let's let Cam and Scott introduce themselves, tell us about Ultimate Distribution and their sister company or sister companies at this point. Yeah, guys, take it over.
Hey everyone, I'm Cam. I've been at Ultimate for, well, let's see here, the better part of 20 years, if you can believe it or not.
Wow.
Started out in the warehouse back in the mid-90s, and I've kind of worked my way up and seen a lot of change in the industry, a lot of change at Ultimate, and to the point where we are now, and going through the Xoro process and integration, and bringing in someone like Scott as a sister company now on the barber supply side of things, and it's an exciting time.
So I'm maybe going to just kind of set the stage for people who aren't in the action sports industry and haven't even heard of Ultimate Distribution. So as Cam mentioned, so the company's been around since the 80s, correct?
Maybe,
yeah. So Ultimate, as a skateboard distributor, will buy warehouse and then resell skateboard equipment. And then, as Scott alluded to, they have a sister company that is doing men's grooming supplies or barber supplies that goes under the Ultimate Barber Supplies. Yeah, perfect. So kind of somewhat of a new customer base, but at the same time, perhaps some overlap. But then also on the Ultimate skateboard side, it's more. It might even be exclusively B2B, whereas on the barber side, you're selling B2B as well as B2C.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah, there's one additional recent component to that, is that I brought my token trading business over, which is a mixture of both B2C and B2B as well.
Yeah.
It means you have an additional domain.
Absolutely.
Managing with Xoro as well.
Yeah, thanks guys for that background on Ultimate and the different company background. So like we mentioned, Ultimate's been on the Xoro platform since I believe 2019. And I don't know, Cam, if you can remember back to pre-pandemic days, but obviously implementing an ERP system can be it is a big undertaking. If you can give us some of the highlights on kind of how that process went, and kind of just give us a general feel on how everything kind of worked through from the implementation to the training to the actual and deployment of the system.
For sure. Yeah, I guess to start off, I think I was in the process when BlastRamp came over and we had to merge Ultimate with BlastRamp, which was also a big undertaking.
Mm-hmm.
I think I believe it was March 2020, we went live with Xoro.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wow. Right at the pandemic there, just with a bang.
Is when we went live with it, and which was a blessing in disguise. It forced us to kind of get things done very quickly.
Sure.
And the implementation, as far as setting up any new system goes, was really smooth. See, there's always going to be quirks when you get into this kind of stuff, but I think you guys were more than eager to always be there when we needed help. And if something wasn't working and it was fixed, resolved very quickly, and we moved on, and we had 2 of our biggest months in company history out of the gates. It was
Right.
obviously the issues weren't that bad. It was pretty seamless.
I mean, obviously, the pandemic, maybe this video will age a little bit different than other videos, but the skateboarding industry, the bike industry, any outdoor sport industry really saw a massive boom through that kind of mid to late to 2020 as in early 2021. And I know that a lot of your sales on the B2B side are conducted via road sales rep, trade shows, etc. And when all that completely shut down, you were able to lean on the Xorosoft B2B to really capture orders and collect your pre-bookings, etc. So maybe you can talk a bit about that and how that went.
Sure. Yeah, I think I still remember the days when we went live and the volume of orders that were coming in, because we were getting trucks, I think 50-foot containers every Monday morning. And by the time I would have product live, within an hour, most of it was gone. So the orders were coming in faster than we could even, keep up with them and edit them and get them to the warehouse. They were coming in and the inventory was sold. So I think that was a huge move for us and the right decision, because we would never be able to capture those sales, the old fashioned sell or blast ramp and reps trying to call. It was just super user friendly. Things were moving along, and I think it just helped us to see the opportunities in the bigger picture, what more we could do with the system if we pushed it a little harder. The B2B,
Sure.
Our industry is pretty junior as far as technology. There's a couple people out there, competitors that do have some better systems now, but back then there was still a lot of Excel spreadsheets and emails. And so the B2B was a huge step for us. And once people got into it and used it, it was really user friendly. And yeah, I think it's a big win.
Cool. So obviously we'll talk about Shopify here in a minute, but obviously, like Scott mentioned and Cam, you mentioned that you guys were selling product as quickly as you could get it. But how has inventory accuracy and getting a real snapshot of what you have on hand or what you have coming, how has that improved over your previous systems?
Yeah, the visibility is really good. Inventory has always been a bit of an issue the way we used to do it. And as far as the reporting goes now, I can get something, off in seconds and back to the warehouse, and we can have it, corrected or fixed within minutes. It's, I think just the reporting capabilities are endless. You can pretty much drill down to anything you need to do. Sales,
Sure.
Coming in, inventory going out, dead inventory. It's really useful.
Sure. And even speaking from experience, even on the commission side, so Ultimate has quite a large independent and in-house sales force, and a lot of different commission rules and commission setups for all their sales teams. So again, that's all kind of handled through the Xorosoft reporting backend.
Yeah, I remember our early conversations about commission.
Of course. Yeah, I think we owe you a commission for the commissions
because
consulting you did with us.
Every system that I've been involved in, as far as every system would go, it would always fail when it came to the reporting and the commission piece.
Yes.
And that invariably was someone's headache somewhere in the business to deal with. And,
Sure.
And I would always see them going back to Excel sheets and trying to run various reports that way. And so that's a massive piece.
Yeah.
Sure. It's huge.
Cool. Well, yeah, maybe let's switch gears and talk about Shopify. I don't know if Shopify falls into your purview, Cam, but I know Scott kind of seems to live and breathe Shopify these days. And, one of the things that we really try to promote is our really strong partnership with Shopify, being the leading e-com platform globally at this point, I think.
But yeah, it's a seamless integration. Shopify feeds off of our warehouse inventory in Xoro. We make an edit in that inventory, it shows up in Shopify within minutes. So it really is a seamless experience that way, and that's what you want, because Shopify is a great platform, Xoro is a great platform, and you need those two to be harmonious.
Yep, perfect, cool. Well, hey guys, I really appreciate this. Obviously one of the, other than kind of people learning more about us and learning more about you, is there's perhaps going to be some viewers kind of on the fence, making the leap to an ERP, or hopefully choosing Xorosoft as their ERP. If you were to do it all over again, would you do it? And would you recommend Xorosoft as an ERP provider to your friends?
I think from my side, having been here prior to working with Xoro and seeing those two systems, some of the headaches that we had with the two systems that we had, and how our accounting department versus our warehouse department, and everyone had to kind of fumble through a lot of stuff, and it just wasn't a seamless integration by any stretch. Certainly from my side, I would advise anyone who's looking at an ERP system to go for one that can kind of do everything from A to Z, and really, I find very little to be worried about under that scenario, except maybe taking that leap, right? I think some people are scared to take that leap. I think once you did do something like that, you might just be surprised how much easier it is on your staff and on your overall workflow, and you'd be hard pushed to find a system that does that, as well as Xoro.
Awesome, perfect, thanks. Cam?
I think one of the key words was fumble, and for decades, we're a very successful company, been around for a long time, but our workflow and our processes were a little fumbled, and having this set up has just made the path so much clearer, and the ease of use. And yeah, I would definitely recommend it. We've been
awesome,
happy.
Perfect, guys, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Wishing you guys a very prosperous and successful year ahead, and thanks again for your time.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Scott.
Awesome.
And Cam. It's great to have you.